Afgelopen dinsdag vond in het Asturia Event Center de officiële opening van de Local Content Conferentie 2025 plaats. Tijdens zijn toespraak zei Melvin Bouva, minister van Buitenlandse Zaken, Internationale Handel en Samenwerking, dat de Final Investment Decision FID een nieuw hoofdstuk vormt voor de hele regio.
We gather at a moment of considerable significance, not only for the Republic of Suriname, but also for all stakeholders invested in inclusive and forward-looking economic transformation. Exploration and production activities accelerate in Suriname's offshore basin, and we heard some developments from the representative of Total. We are reminded that such milestones are not ends in themselves, but as part of a broader vision of inclusive, sustainable, and national progress. Yet, even as we acknowledge the strategic importance of our energy potential, it is imperative that we situate this development within the context of Suriname's broader long-term economic diversification strategy. This national vision, also embodied by the President herself at the 1 October statement, this vision is deliberately shows us a wide spectrum of sectors, including but not limited to mining, minerals, agribusiness, fisheries, tourism, digital services, ICT, renewable energy, logistics, and value-added processing linked to regional and global trade. Each of these sectors contributes meaningfully to the expansion of employment, enterprises, and innovation across the country. And as these sectors advance, so too does the relevance of urgency of cultivating robust, inclusive, and measurable local content outcomes. Local content in this context should not be viewed as a conceptual aspiration, but rather as a practical imperative. It represents the process by which investments are translated into durable, broad-based socio-economic benefits through workforce development, the strengthening of domestic enterprises, and the fostering of resilient supply chains to endure well beyond the lifespan of individual projects. To achieve this, we must collectively, also at this forum, address a series of strategic questions. What specific technical and vocational competencies are urgently required? Which local suppliers are prepared to meet the quality, safety, and compliance benchmark demanded for this industry? How can education, accreditation, and certification systems be aligned more effectively with evolving market needs? And how can we ensure that environmental and social safeguards are fully integrated into the development process, thereby fostering trust and confidence among citizens and communities? From the perspective of my ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Business and Cooperation, the role of the government is to help establish an enabling environment for these critical discussions unfold. This includes facilitating open and sustained dialogue among investors, technical institutions, regulatory bodies, and local enterprises. Equally essential is the promotion of knowledge sharing and targeted technical assistance, particularly where such cooperation contributes to capacity building and institutional strengthening. All above in line with furthermore investing in the economic diplomacy, while through international relations, we also aim to enhance foreign direct investment in Suriname. It must be emphasized that the operational responsibilities, whether in supplier development, accreditation, or harmonization of technical standards rightfully reside with industry actors, professional institutions, and development partners. Government and diplomatic actors, however, play a convening and coordinating role in fostering alignment across these efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, as we engage in the proceedings of this forum, let us be particularly focused on at least three core dimensions. One, evidence-based demonstrations of local enterprise capacity to meet and to maintain sector-specific technical and safety standards. Let us also look at the clarity, precision around the skills and qualifications that training institutions and employers must prioritize to address the actual market needs, and also credible and transparent environmental and social safeguards that inspire public trust and demonstrate accountability to communities and stakeholders alike. The recent financial investment decision, FID, for the offshore development marks not just a milestone for Suriname, but a new chapter for the entire region, also in relation to the countries in the region and beyond. Economic diplomacy will be one of the main drivers of Suriname foreign policy, precisely to translate macroeconomic developments into endless opportunities for its private sector and other stakeholders. But let me be clear from the outset. For Suriname, it is not solely an energy story, it is a catalyst for a much broader and more profound ambition: the complete and deliberate transformation of our economy into one that is sustainable, inclusive, and resilient. However, the realization of this potential depends on active partnership between the government and business, and also with our international partners, especially you, the private sector, both domestic and foreign, is central to this vision. It is through entrepreneurship, innovation, and investment that opportunities are translated into sustainable growth and employment. In this regard, Suriname is committed to providing an enabling environment for business to thrive. The government has embarked on reforms, indeed, Mr. Speaker, to improve the investment climate by legislation, strengthen institutions, enhance transparency, and facilitate trade and business. We are working to modernize our legal frameworks, and just yesterday I've launched the working group, and I see the CEO of CETA and also Mr. Bilkerdijk in the working group to work towards the revision of our Investment Act and the law for the establishment of CETA. Let's say the strengthening of CETA as investment, we say not only promotion, but investment facilitating body. So we are working, and Mr. Speaker, when the legislation comes, we hope that it goes through Parliament very easily, because that is coming. We were also discussing indeed 3 or 4 other bills that are in process at the Ministry of Economic Affairs, etc. So work is being done, and we look forward to engage with you to get all of this through, to set a good legal framework, but also to streamline investment procedures and open new avenues for public-private partnerships. I, in this regard, urge, therefore, all stakeholders to consider, also at this seminar or this gathering, to prioritize pragmatic, measurable, and pilot-scale initiatives. These could include focused supply chain assessments, the creation of joint training programs for high-demand roles, and other sector-specific compliance benchmarking. For those seeking further engagement and technical information, I also encourage you to connect with us, to connect with the Suriname Investment and Trade Agency of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Business, whose representatives are also present here today, and ready to support to continued dialogue and collaboration with the private sector.